A few days ago, I got an email from someone asking for advice on YouTube script writing, specifically what I would do if I had to start all over again from scratch. But I started replying and pretty quickly realized that this shouldn't be an email. After working with channels like Magnates Media, Cypher, alux.com, Explorist, and building a reasonably profitable business for myself, I figured I'd probably have some useful things to say for people who are thinking about getting into this or considering taking it seriously. So in this video, I want to break down basically everything I know about the business of YouTube script writing, who it's for, why you should consider it, how to get your first clients, how to keep them, how to write scripts, how pricing works, and how you can turn this from a decent side income into a real business that actually makes serious money. I've got some post-its and a few notes on my phone, but it's a little too warm and comfortable inside here. Plus, I want a coffee. So let's go outside where it's nice and cold and I'll lay everything out.
All right. That was not the best idea in the world. It started pouring rain as soon as I wanted to record. But anyway, here we are again, and here we go. So first, who is YouTube script writing for? The easy answer is if you're naturally curious, you're naturally creative, you like to read, you like to write, if you enjoy watching the platform already, if you enjoy stuff like movies and TV, novels, storytelling in general, if you're the kind of person who has multiple interests, YouTube script writing is great. There are a few requirements. The first one is that you need to be able to write basic English or whatever language you're targeting. I'm not saying you need to be the next Shakespeare or the next Hemingway. You don't need to be a genius, but you need to be able to string a sentence together coherently without making dumb, obvious mistakes. The second requirement is that you need to be quite a patient, disciplined person. And writing, by its nature, takes time, it takes patience, and it takes time alone. Writing is basically a function of time and focus. So you gotta be ready for that. If that sounds like you, then YouTube script writing might be a good fit for you, probably. So apart from that, why would you want to get into this? First of all, it's fun. You get to learn a lot and you get to cover a bunch of different topics. Like I have written everything from true crime to business analysis to self-help to what marketing was like in pre-World War I Germany for pharmaceutical companies. This job will make you explore topics that you could have never imagined, and you'll get to learn a lot about a lot of different things about the world, because by nature of explaining them, by nature of having to write about them in a clear and coherent way, you are going to learn a lot of stuff. And then talking about money, you can actually make decent money by writing other people's YouTube videos, which is basically what the job entails. What I've seen personally from what you can achieve as just one person without hiring anybody and without compromising your quality by just like writing AI slop is with just a few clients, you can easily reach $5,000 to $10,000 months, 15 maybe. I mean, that's pretty okay. One of the beauties of this business is that any YouTube channel has a very simple formula. The more videos they make, the more money they make. But a lot of the time they have a very serious bottleneck in how much content, how many videos they can produce, because they take time to research and they take time to write and they take time to record. And even beyond that, if you want to produce content consistently, that is also something that's very important for your clients. So your sales pitch is really, really simple. You help them make more videos more consistently and of higher quality, of course, which means if you choose your clients well, demand is basically infinite. You're going to be able to create a very stable, very consistent stream of income for yourself. And then the other reason is that if you want to be a full-time content creator, not just a writer for other channels, this is a great stepping stone, because obviously starting a YouTube channel, getting it monetized and building a core audience that can actually bring enough money for you to pay your bills takes time. But with YouTube script writing, you get consistent cash flow. It's pretty much guaranteed as long as you have the right clients. So if that is the future you envision for yourself, YouTube script writing is a great stepping stone. And it's not just about the money. Along the way, you are building the skills to do that, which we'll talk about more in a second. All right, so how do you actually get started? How do you get your first clients? There's a very simple way to get YouTube script writing clients. All you really have to do is go on YouTube and find a YouTube channel that you would like to work with. And then you go to their about page, you click more info. A lot of channels, most of them will have their email there. If not, they'll probably have an Instagram or a Twitter and you can DM them there. But if they have their email, email them.
Are you making a video?
Yeah.
Same.
You
What's
are?
your name?
I'm Federico.
Jacob, nice to meet you.
Jacob.
And whereabouts are you from? What's the video about? What'd you do?
I write YouTube scripts for other people.
If someone's making like a commentary video, you'll help them.
It's more like education and like documentary kind of stuff. Yeah.
I'm trying to travel around the world. I'm just
Oh, really?
traveling. Yeah. I want to do 11 countries.
You doing a vlog?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Do you want to say hello?
Yeah.
Do you want to shout yourself out?
Nice gentleman came to say hi. Anyway, where was I? You can choose your clients. You can find their email. If they have their email, email them. If not, you can reach out on Instagram or on Twitter or on X. Number one rule, work with creators you actually would enjoy working with long term. If not, it's not going to work out long term. Trust me. You don't want to end up working with some like YouTube automation spam channel. They don't pay well and the work is grueling. There's no life to it. Instead, you want to work with real creators. They'll actually pay you a decent rate and it'll be much more enjoyable. One more tip is you want to choose creators who post consistently or post a lot. That way you can have enough volume of work and you don't have to be juggling between like a million clients. Plus you want to work with creators where you can tell that the channel is profitable, it's making money. You want to work with people that can pay you. So once you find one of these people and you want to reach out, there's a very simple message that you're going to send to them. It's a very simple email. It's what I send every time I want to get a new client. It goes like this. You say, hey, and the creator's name or the channel's name. You give them a compliment about a video or the channel. You don't totally glaze them. It has to be short and sweet and effective and genuine. You can't just copy paste the same compliment for everybody. When you're reaching out to someone, you want them to see that you actually put effort into this, that you are a fan of the channel, that you have watched the content. From there, you go into the sales pitch, but you're not trying to trick them or anything. You're just really trying to offer your help. You point out the problem that they have and the solution that you will bring. The problem that they have, we already discussed it. It's that more videos equals more money for them, but they have a bottleneck in time that it takes to write and research videos. So you say something like, I'm guessing you have a long list of video ideas that you would like to make, but you don't have enough time to write and research all of them. And then you say, I'm a YouTube scriptwriter. I help creators make more videos. If you have experience and you have videos that you have written that you can show off, then you do that. You don't need anything fancy like testimonials or a portfolio website. All I send is in the email, I include 3 links to videos that I have written. And that's about it. So you've pointed out a problem, you have talked about a solution, you've shown proof that you can do this. Now you just lay out your offer in very simple terms. You don't mention your price or anything. They're going to ask about that later. But one little tip that I have is you have to frame yourself as more than just a plug and play scriptwriter. You actually want to show that you really understand the channel, you really understand their strategy and what they're going for. So one little thing that I do is I suggest a video idea. You honestly want to remove as much work from the client side as possible. So I say, I had this idea for a video you could make. I'd be happy to take that idea from zero to final draft or any video idea you've had with no financial risk to you. You only pay me if you want to use the script. That makes it pretty easy for the client to do. And the other reason is that, yes, you are offering to work for free, because if they deny your script, they don't end up using it, you're not going to get paid, but that's a skill issue. If you deliver something good, they're going to use it and they're going to pay you. And in terms of like getting scammed, that's just a risk you have to take. But honestly, I never have. In my experience, if you reach out to a real creator who has like a reputation on the line, they're not going to scam you. You should not be afraid to work for free. So you send that email and you are either going to get ghosted, which is okay, it happens, or you are going to get a no, which is also okay, it happens, or you are going to get a let's give it a shot. And that is really everything you need. This prospect has now become a lead, and now it is your job to turn them into a client and to keep them. And there's only one way to do that. It's very simple, is you have to do good work. There's no trick, that's it. Now, this video is more about the business of script writing. The writing in and of itself is a whole other topic, so we'll just skip over that for now. If you want to learn more about that, I have another video talking about what actually goes into a great quality script. But for now, let's just stick to the business. But there is one thing I will say, and it's that every YouTube channel is different. YouTube script writing is more of an art than a science. There are no secret formulas. There are no perfect formats or writing styles. Everything comes down to who you're working with. The second component of this is that you have to give a quality service. And this is what most people absolutely can't do. The first component of a quality service is a quality product. The scripts you deliver have to be good. Again, that's another topic. But you have to work in a way that you have to be a good person to work with. So that comes down to a few things. First of all, whatever you're delivering, you have to deliver it well. But that begs the question, what are you actually delivering as a script writer? Most people think it's just a Google Doc, but it's actually a little bit deeper than that. What you're delivering as a YouTube scriptwriter always is this: everything the creator will need to record the video. That's your responsibility. What do I mean by this? Well, there are many different kinds of YouTube scripts. There are word-for-word scripts, like there are word-for-word documentaries where you have to basically write the entire narration for the video. Then in that case, it is your job to deliver a word-by-word script with no grammatical errors, with sources, with research, basically everything that the creator needs to go and record the voiceover without needing to contact you for anything else. If you're getting hired to write something more like this video, where I'm just kind of rambling and I have a few bullet points, then everything the creator needs to record the video is maybe a word-for-word introduction and all of the bullet points in order with explanations, all the context they will need to go and speak freely about a subject. The point is that whatever you deliver, the script should be complete. It should be done, which surprisingly, finding somebody who will actually get their work done and deliver a finalized, completed product to you is extremely rare, which means if you're doing that, the most basic of things, you're probably already ahead of 95% of people. The competition here is completely non-existent. You just have to be somewhat competent and you can completely dominate this field. So if you can do that on your first project and all of the projects that you're going to have in the future, then you, my friend, are going to get paid, which is good. But that begs the question, how do you price your scripts? It's actually not too complicated. There's pretty much 4 ways to get paid as a YouTube scriptwriter and as a writer in general. First, you can get paid per word. My advice is that you have to avoid this at all costs because it misaligns your incentive with the creator. My personal rule when I'm writing scripts is that they're going to be as long as they need to be, but as short as possible. You have to find that sweet spot, not leaving anything out, but what you are leaving in, you are explaining in the most concise way possible. When you're getting paid per word, you're sacrificing that. Yeah, your incentives are completely misaligned with the person paying you. Second way to get paid is per month or per hour, basically per unit of time. Per hour, you don't really want to do that. But if you're getting hired on a retainer per month, it can work if you're getting paid a decent rate and it's not consuming all of your time. The other way you can get paid is per project, which is what I prefer. It's honestly the simplest and the most incentive aligned with your clients. Honestly, the amount of time or the amount of effort that it takes you to complete your work isn't really your client's concern. If you can do it fast, it's good for you and it's good for them. So you're not charging for time, you're charging for the quality of your work, which is why per project is the most aligned way to price your scripts. And there is one more way to get paid, which is getting paid for the performance of the video. So if the video brings in leads or brings in a bunch of views, you can get paid for some metric that you're measuring. You're probably going to unlock this at later stages when you've proven yourself. But the trap here is to not do just this. Performance-based pay should be on top of the other pay that we already discussed. You never want to do just this. So let's talk numbers. How much can you get paid for a YouTube script? Well, the truth is this is a service industry, which means you can charge anything you want. There are no rules here. And if you're good at what you do, trust me, people are going to pay you and you can charge a lot. So on YouTube, there are millions of different kinds of video formats and content types. So the prices that you can charge for each of them will vary a lot. Like there are some $50 scripts and there are some $2,000 scripts. But there are basically 2 main kinds of videos, which are education and personal brand videos. For entertainment videos like documentaries and explainers, you can charge anywhere from $200 per video to $2,000 on the higher end. Maybe even more if you're working with a really big, really profitable creator and you're really good at what you do, you can charge exorbitant rates. Obviously, as you get better at this, you can increase your prices, which you definitely should. For personal brand videos, these can be really consistent, which is really good. You can charge somewhere between $200 to $1,500. And honestly, they're not too tough to write. It's more copywriting than creative writing. You can get pretty fast at these. One thing with pricing is that you don't always have to charge video per video. I've personally worked with a client where I charge 5 videos in advance and it's simpler all around. There's less communication. If you have a situation where you have a client that produces content very consistently, the client has the money to pay you for videos in advance, you should definitely do that. And as a rule of thumb, I think a lot of people are fixated on getting your first 5 clients or something. But you don't really need to do that. You don't really need 10 clients in order to turn this into a profitable business. You just need 2 or 3 that actually pay you well and give you consistent work, and you can actually make a good living from this. So we know how to do good work. We know how to give a good service. We know how to build long-term relationships. Then it's just a matter of getting more clients. It's basically just repeating the process that I talked about last time. Find more channels that you want to work with. You send more emails. And this time you replace the links that you're adding there with your best performing videos. You always want to show your best work. As you start to do that, trust me, getting clients is easy. And so if you have any amount of success with this, you're pretty quickly going to run into a ceiling with what you can do because you're going to run into a very good problem, which is that your calendar is going to be full. There's going to be more demand for your script writing service than you can actually deal with. But you don't want to stay stuck. Obviously, if you're doing this, that's a problem you want to solve. You can make more money. Which begs the question, how do you scale a script writing side hustle that you're just doing by yourself into a larger business? There's basically 3 ways to do that. The first and simplest is that you increase your prices. You basically replace lower paying clients with higher paying clients, and you just keep increasing your prices. This, regardless of whatever strategy, whatever path you take, is something you always want to be doing. It just makes sense. It's going to make your life a lot easier and a lot better. The second thing you can do is to turn what you do into an agency. If you're willing to go through all the stress that it entails, it can work. Like, I have had friends who consistently do like $20,000 to $40,000 months with their YouTube script writing agencies. But in my opinion, having tried to do this myself, it's not something I want to do because there's a few problems with this. You can just think about what's going to happen in the future. Basically, what you're going to do is you're going to get a lot more clients that you could possibly handle yourself. But then instead of writing them yourself, you're going to hire junior writers to work below you. The problem is, like, true killer writers, true A players do not need you to find clients for them. They can find clients themselves and keep 100% of the cash instead of just like a portion of it, which is what you're doing as an agency owner, which means you are going to have to hire B players. You're going to have to hire mediocre people. You're going to...
Blogging.
Yeah. Habla español.
Ah, vale. Joder, pues encantado, Venga.
Another fun visit. Okay, so A players don't need you, which means you're going to have to hire B players. These people are not going to be exactly great at what they do. You will have to train them. They will be unreliable. They will not write well, or they will give you generic AI crap. They won't put effort into what they do. You will have to rewrite their scripts or spend hours editing them. And then you're working from like a script that is not so good, which means whatever you edit is also not going to be great. And you're going to turn that into your client, and they're going to have revisions, and you're going to have to pass those revisions onto your writer, and then they're going to pass them on to you, and you're going to have to do the whole process over again and then send them back to the client. They may have another round of revisions. Plus, you're paying them, which means your margins, which used to be 100%, are going to die, and so is your peace of mind and your free time. Your life as the owner of a YouTube script writing agency is basically a living hell. I've tried to do this. Getting clients is easy, but the entire work of working with people who won't write as well as you can and won't care as much about us projects as you will is too grueling. I don't want my life to turn into a living hell, which is why I don't want to build a YouTube script writing agency. Instead, I want to go for the third route, which is starting your own channels. This is what I'm doing. I have a channel that covers business and technology news. It's similar to the channels I used to work with. And in terms of money, it is a lot more profitable. Like, trust me, I have had instances where I have gotten paid $600 to write a script, and it has generated like $77,000 just in ad revenue. When that happens to you, you know what you're doing is of value, and that if you were to build something for yourself, that it would actually be a much better business for you. And the beautiful thing about this to me is that script writing for clients until you reach capacity is going to give you all the experience you need. Building up your own YouTube channel is going to be faster. You're actually going to know what you're doing. You're going to have connections and friends who can help you out, who can give you opinions and everything. And instead of having to work with people who are not great at what they do, like junior writers under you, these B players, actual good script writers are going to reach out to you and you can work with them. That's why I think, for me, it just makes more sense to become a creator than to become a YouTube script writing agency owner. So yeah, honestly, I don't know what else there is to say. It's starting to rain and I think I covered everything, and I don't want my camera to die, so that's gonna be the end of the video, and I'm gonna leave now. Here's the video about how to write good scripts that you can watch right now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.